Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's practice. This class is part of Yoga in Our City's virtual studio, which is a program sponsored by Kinetic Air. My name is Emily, and during today's practice, make sure that you modify and adjust however appropriate for all of the poses and postures we move through. In terms of props, you can go ahead and grab 2 blocks if you have them available and put them up towards the top of your mat on either side so that they're accessible for you. Once you've got your props and you're ready to go, we can meet at the top of the mat. Begin standing in mountain pose at the top of your mat, feeling the press through the soles of your feet, really grounding down into the earth. Turn to face you just so you can see exactly what we're doing for this first portion. As you ground down in through the feet, really feel everything root and rise up, legs lengthening, spine lengthening, crown of the head reaching towards the ceiling. On an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. On an exhale, press the hands down as you release all of the air and bend the knees closer to the ground. Inhale. Exhale, release and press. Inhale, grow tall, reach up. Exhale, release, press. Inhale, up. Exhale, release. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, release, cultivating that ujjayi breathing. Good. Inhale, take it up. This time, if you haven't, feel free to exhale with the mouth open. One more like that. Good. Inhale now, reaching the arms up overhead. Keep the arms overhead. Take the right hand around the left wrist as you exhale, side bend over towards the right side of the room. Inhale through center, switch the clasp of the hands. Exhale over to the left. Inhale, come through center. And exhale now, take it forward, forward fold. You can bring your palms of your hands underneath the soles of the feet. Coming into gorilla pose. Pressing the feet down into the palms to traction the upper body more towards the floor. Experiment with a little subtle movement here. So bringing the weight slightly into the balls of the feet and then just slightly back onto the heels, rocking forward and back and noticing how that changes the sensation of the pose. We're working today to move any stiffness, any stuckness, if that's a word, out of the body. So with that in mind, give the head a little shake, yes and no, back and forth. Notice if we're gripping or holding any tension. Release the palms from the soles of the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the palms, hopper step back into your plank pose, bending through the elbows, lower all the way down onto the belly. Come onto the fingertips, so tenting the fingertips, elbows towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, drop the right shoulder down, chest turns towards the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, opposite side, left shoulder down, chest turns towards the right. Inhale, up. Exhale, release. Inhale, bring it to center. Exhale, release. Let's take it one more each side. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down. Inhale through center. Exhale down, come back through center once more, and from there, exhale, release all the way back down onto the mat. Palms come on either side of the ribs. Press yourself up into a tabletop position. On your inhale, drop the belly, send the heart forward through the gate of the shoulders. And on your exhale, round and press the floor away, finding cat-cow. Inhale, take it forward. Exhale, round and press. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round and press again. Inhale, belly drops, heart forward, chest proud, shoulders back. Exhale, round and press the floor away. Feel free to freestyle a little bit here, maybe bringing the chest into a barrel roll motion, taking the hip side to side. Could make it even bigger if that helps. Get into the joints, relieve some stiffness. And then we'll meet back in our standard tabletop position. Press down through the palms, tuck all 10 toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift that right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, right knee hugs in towards the chest. Inhale, send it back and up. Exhale, bring it forward, hug it in, stamp that right foot in between the palms, drop the left knee, untuck the left toes. Grab your blocks here, bring them on either side of the body, just slightly upright the torso here, using the fingertips on the blocks for support. And we'll find a little dynamic flow here. So as you inhale, we're bending into that front knee, lifting the chest, maybe lifting the gaze. And as we exhale, bringing it back, straightening the front leg, fold forward. Inhale, take it forward. Exhale, straighten the right leg, flex the toes towards the face. Inhale, forward. Exhale, straighten and flex those toes as you fold over the leg. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, straighten and melt over the leg. Inhale, forward. Good, you've got the rhythm now. So keep moving through this at your own pace, matching breath to movement. Doesn't matter here if you're moving faster than me or slower than me. Just take this at a pace that makes sense, that's beneficial for you. Finding that sense of fluidity in this steady, intentional movement. And then the next time we find ourselves with that right sole of the foot on the floor and the knee bent, set the blocks out of the way. Inhale, reach, rise up, lift up, gaze lifts. Exhale, plant the palms, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, send the right leg up and back into a three-legged dog. Option to bend the right knee and take that hip into circles here. You can send the right foot all the way over and flip your dog, just an option. Reach the right hand out past the ears towards the back of the room. Lift the hips, open the chest. If you flipped your dog, take the dog back over. Right leg, three-legged dog, and both feet meet back on the mat. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in between, reset between sides. Same other side. Inhale, left leg lifts towards the sky. Exhale, left foot comes all the way forward. We drop the back knee and untuck the toes. You can always keep those back toes tucked if it brings more stability. Find your blocks, prop yourself up on your blocks, lift the chest, lift the gaze, and exhale, straighten the leg, fold forward. You know the motion we're getting into here, so I'm not going to cue this time. Just find this movement at your own pace. So in a way that makes sense for you. in a way that makes sense for the cadence of your breath, for how your body's feeling. Maybe it makes sense to take it a little slower. Maybe that will help you get into some of those areas that need a little extra TLC, just allowing this motion to be steady and slow. I find that these dynamic back and forth movements are some of the best ways to really grease the joints. Repetitive motions allow you to truly feel in flow. So take another round or two here. Maybe close your eyes for the last one. See if you can feel like you're flowing. And then the next time that left sole of the foot is on the mat, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Untuck the right toes, lift the right knee, send the left leg up and back downward facing. Bend the knee, open the hip, maybe take that leg in circles. Maybe bring the left foot all the way around, flip your dog, reaching the left arm towards the back of the room. Lift the hips, open the chest. And if we flipped, we bring it back over, send the left leg up and back, downward facing. Both feet come to meet back in your downward facing dog. Beautiful. On an inhale, bend the knees, look forward, hop, walk, or float your feet to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, elevate the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll it up, reach it up. Exhale, hands down by your sides. Take a big step out to the left side of your mat. So we're coming into a wide-legged stance here. For this first one, toes in, heels slightly out. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Press the clasp of the hands away. Open across the chest. Lift your gaze. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Release the hands. If your hands can come with ease down towards the mat, then do that. Otherwise, grab your blocks. Give yourself a little extra support. If your hands are coming down onto the mat, turn the fingertips towards the back of the mat. Crawl the fingertips away from you, using that tractioning through the finger pads to draw the upper body more towards the floor. On the inhales, lengthening through the spine. On the exhales, releasing any amount more. On your next inhale, slowly bring the hands to the hips, pressing through the soles of the feet. Come all the way up. Good. We're going to switch the positioning of the feet so that heels come in, toes point slightly out towards those upper diagonal corners of the mat. And then we'll sink down into our goddess pose, bending the knees, keeping the knees tractioning out. Bring the hands down onto the thighs. Inhale at center. Exhale, right shoulder drops, chest turns towards the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, left shoulder drops, turn towards the right. Good. Keep moving just like this. I'm sure this movement feels familiar. We've just brought it to a different plane. Keeping the hips nice and low. Matching breath to movement, movement to breath. So you're taking this at your own pace. Coming up proud through the chest as you move through center. Let's take one more round each side. Good. And when you return to center, inhale, reach up, 5-pointed star. Maybe come into a little back bend here. Lift the gaze. Hands down by your side. Step the left foot to meet the right at the top of your mat. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, elevate the chest, heart forward. Exhale, fold, plant the palms, hop or step your feet back into plank. Bend through the elbows. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 5 full breaths here, just letting this movement resonate through the body. Pressing down through the palms, lifting the spine, reaching the spine towards the ceiling, tailbone high. Energy coming down the back line of the legs, reaching the heels towards the floor. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. It really doesn't matter. And then bring the big toes together. Drop the knees down onto the mat nice and wide just for a moment. Melt forward, child's pose. You can bring your forehead down onto the mat here. Rock the forehead back and forth. Keep sinking the hips down towards your heels. On your next inhale, upright the torso, swing your legs forward. Bring the hands to face one another, palms facing one another, and then as slowly as you can, little by little, vertebra by vertebra, release yourself down onto the ground until your arms can plop down by your sides and give a little fade. We're going to take a bridge pose. So option here to do a supported bridge pose if you just want to slide a block underneath your sacrum. Otherwise, I'll talk us through our bridge. Bring the soles of the feet down onto the mat about hips width distance apart. Bring them close enough to the body. It's generally a good rule of thumb for most bodies that you could just brush the backs of your heels with your fingertips. That doesn't quite work. Don't worry about it. On your inhale, gaze towards the ceiling, lift the hips as you press down through the feet, wiggle the shoulder blades together, interlace the fingers. And then now through that whole support of your arm, your hands, your feet, lift the hips a little higher. Big inhale here. Exhale, slowly release back down. We will do that twice more. If you're in your supported bridge, you can remain in your supported bridge. Otherwise, inhale. Press through the feet, lift the hips, shoulder blades wiggle towards one another, interlace the fingers. Keep pressing down through our supportive foundation as we lift up. Energetically feel as though the legs are drawing towards one another. So don't actually physically move them, just feel as though they're drawing in the direction of one another rather than splaying out. Next, exhale, slowly release back down. Third and final back bend here, option to take a wheel if you'd like, or remain, or join the supported bridge if you'd like, really yogi's choice. If we're coming up into our regular bridge again, we're pressing down through the soles of the feet. Inhale, lift it up, bring the hands together. Keep the gaze directly above you. Option here to press up onto the balls of the feet to take your bridge a little bit higher. And exhale, release. Adjust your hips so that they move just the hips over towards the right side of the room. And then we're going to drop our knees to the left, gaze out over the right shoulder. Gentle supine twist here. If you'd like to take any other twist variations, you can. Allowing gravity to really do the work for you here. On your next inhale, we come back through center, this time shifting the hips, just the hips, over towards the left, knees drop over towards the right, gaze out over the left shoulder. You can always use the right hand to guide the hips more towards the right side of the room, or even press into that hip crease to feel more length in the side of the body. Fun to experiment with. Inhale, we come through center. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Reach through the legs to come reach for the soles of the feet on a more untraditional happy baby. Drawing the knees, the thighs down towards the floor on either side of the body. You can play with rocking the weight towards the shoulders and more towards the low back. Good. Release. If you would like to take any other movements or motions here before coming into your final resting pose, please feel free to do so. Maybe another twist or Viparita Karani, legs up a wall. But as you're ready to find your Shavasana, find your final resting pose, take the legs out long on the mat. Let your feet fall open wide to either side. Bring your arms down by your sides, and before completely letting go in the arms, I just want you to press down into the arms to gently lift the chest, just slightly. Draw the shoulder blades a little bit closer together, and then relax back down. Palms can face up towards the ceiling in a gesture of receiving, or they can come on to the belly or the chest in a gesture of grounding. Just notice where your energy is, where your headspace is, and choose the option that feels right. Invite the eyes to close. Taking one final scan of the body, noticing if there are still any areas that feel stiff, feel like they could use more space. And just envision your breath moving into those areas of the body and inviting space, inviting expansion. Allow every part of the body to give in to the pull of gravity, to be held fully and wholly by the mat, by the earth. Breathe, rest, Shavasana. If time allows for you, feel free to turn this video off and remain in Shavasana for as long as you're able. Otherwise, begin to take some small movements, maybe wiggling the fingertips or the toes, rolling the wrists. You can stretch your arms as far overhead as they'll go, stretch the toes as far as they'll go in the other direction. Hug your knees in towards the chest one at a time. And then guide both knees over to either side of the body, finding the fetal position. Using the strength of your upper arm, keeping your eyes closed, Gently press yourself back up to a comfortable seat on the mat and bring your hands to heart center. Really feeling the effects of the practice resonate through the body. Send yourself a little extra love and gratitude for coming onto your mat and doing something good for you today. And then take that love that you've channeled into yourself and bring that with you out into the rest of your day and into the world. Inhale, lift the thumb knuckles up to forehead center. Exhale here. The light in me honors the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.